Welcome back. So today we are going to be looking at loops in Python. Loops in Python. Now, what is a loop? Okay, a loop is set to just doing something repetitively. Okay, now computers are often used to automate repetitive tasks. Now, repeating identical or similar tasks without making errors is something that computers do well and people do poorly. Now, repeated execution of a statement is called an iteration. Okay? Now, the first type of loop we are going to look at in Python is the for loop. So the syntax for a for loop is this. We say for, then we are going to put in a variable, and we call this variable a looping variable. It could be anything, but I will just use for I. Okay, I are going to use a function called range, and this range, whatever input I put here, it will take the value. So if I say find the for I in range 10, it's going to print from 0 to 9. Okay, it's going to print 10 items, but it's going to start from 0. So if I say for I in range 10, print I, for example, so I'm simply saying that anytime this loop runs, it should print the current value of I. And you will notice that when I run it, the output is from 0 to 1. So at the first time our loop is running, I is 0. The second time the loop is running, I is 1, and so on and so forth until 9. Okay, we can also say something like print something a certain number of times. So if I say print hello and I run this, you see that it's going to print hello 10 times. Alright, so this is an example of a for loop. We can also see now for loops are also majorly used with lists. So if I have a list, I have a list of friends is equals to I have a list of friends, and I want to say I'll use my name. I would say Babatunde. I would say Solomon. And I would say Sulu. Now, if I want to invite all of them to my birthday party, for example, I would simply say for I in friends. Okay, so what is going to happen is that this I is going to loop through this list, and at each point of looping is going to take the form of each item in our list. So if I say for I in this print I, okay, plus I want to write a statement, you are invited to my birthday party. Okay, so when I run that, you see it returns Uzoma, you are invited to my birthday party, Babatunde, you are invited, Solomon and Sule, you are invited to my birthday party. So rather than me having to type this multiple times, okay, if you want to send an invite, the body of the invite is generally the same. All you want to change is the heading. So you can simply use a for loop to run that. Now, the next type of loop we have is the while loop, and this loop uses conditional statements. Okay, so we can simply say that let's say we have a number. Let's say num is equals to 5. Okay, or we can say num is equal. Okay, let's say num is equal to 5, and we say while num is not equals to 0. Okay, num, first of all, we'll print hello. We'll print, or let's print num. Then we'll say num minus equals to 1. So what we're doing here is that we are running a while loop, and while loop uses a condition to run. Okay, so it says while n is not equals to 0. Now at the first point of iteration, n is equals to 5, which we have set here. So it's going to print 5. But next thing we do is that we say number minus equals to 1. This is what we call a decremental assignment. So this is the same thing as saying number is equals to number minus 1. Alright? So instead of doing it like this, I can just simply say num minus equals to 1. And when I run this, you see that it starts counting down. So when num is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So at each point of the loop, after it prints the current value, it reduces the value of 5 by, or value of num by 1. Then when num becomes 0, the loop ends. Okay? Because the condition is as long as num is not equals to 0. Okay, so 5 is not equal to 0, so it is true. The loop will run and I'll keep on decreasing. But when num becomes equals to 0, this condition becomes false and the loop ends. The next thing we're going to look at is the break statement. Okay, so let's create a simple guessing game. Okay, so we're going to ask the user to guess a number, and I'm going to use a Python module called random. So I'll say import random. To make use of a module, we use the import statement. Or I just want to import rand int. So I'll just say from random import rand int. Okay, so I want to import a random integer. And I would say that user guess, for example, user guess. Okay, first of all, we say comp guess is equals to, I want to choose a random number between 1 and 10. So I will say rand int. Okay, then I will say 1, 10. Now I'll open a while loop and I'll say while true. While true simply means that my loop should keep on running forever. Okay, but I'll put in a break condition to break out the loop. I'll say while true, then I'll ask the user to make a guess. So I'll say guess, or I'll say user guess is equals to, now we're going to ask you for an input. We typecast that input into an integer and we say choose a number between 1 and 10. Okay, now I will then say that if the user guess is equals to the computer guess, that is, if the user guesses correctly, then I want to print out you win, then I will break. The reason I am breaking is that without this break statement, my loop will continue to run forever. Okay, else meaning if the condition is not met, you should print try again. Alright, so let's run our program and see what we have. So it says choose a number between 1 and 10. If I choose 5, okay, it tells me I win. Wow, I'm really good at this. Let's run it again. Choose a number. Let me choose 2 this time around. It tells me I should try again. Let me choose 10. Try again. 3. Try again. 7, 8, 5, 4, 1. I win. So the first time with beginner's luck. So we see that we have created a very interesting game with the while loop. Okay, so thank you very much for participating in this class. And in our next class, we are going to look at more into Python data types. Thank you, and remain blessed.